Hey, what's up? You are now tuned in to the Lite Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph, and I'm here with my brothers Mike Story, Ramsey Janti, and Reggie Harris. Here on the Lite Podcast, our focus is to inspire you to be the best version of yourself through impactful conversations about faith, family, hustle, and health. Why? Because light bring more light. Hey, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Joseph, and I am back with the Lite Crew, Mike Story.
I am the lightest one.
Ramsey Janti.
I am the darkest one.
Yeah, as y'all can see, the foolishness has started long before we press record on this pod. I promise you. But welcome to episode 8 of the Lite Podcast. How y'all doing, fellas?
Man, doing great, man. Glad to be here today.
Hey, listen, we on episode 8. It's the
Kobe
first half
one.
of Kobe.
It's the Mamba mentality.
You know what I'm saying? What you got? All right, so what piece of Kobe we got? We were supposed to all bring a piece of Kobe.
I brought a shoe that I had for quite a while now, though.
Mike brought one old Kobe shoe.
Yeah. You know, I had to find this thing, too. That's how you know you ain't hooping forever.
Hey, you know them things going for a grip on StockX.
Yeah, you probably should sell it, bro. You probably
don't tell me that. They be gone
tomorrow.
No,
not for real. You probably should sell them.
Man,
see what you
I'm about to look into that after.
Vanessa wouldn't approve. I got my Chuck Styles custom Kobe right here, always on my wall.
Man, y'all weak. Y'all
He's so LA now. He's so LA now.
LA.
24.
I had a number 8, but
the Sunday best.
I had a number 8, but I let my brother borrow it, and you know how that go.
My brother got it. Yeah, gone.
It's no longer mine.
Borrowed it.
But y'all know the Mamba mentality sit here every day, so we gotta keep that close. Yeah, man. But what's new? What's going on in y'all's world? How was y'all's week?
Man, mine was good. I've been trying to fix my car. Y'all guys ever worked on cars by yourself before?
Absolutely. I just learned how to change a tire like a year and some change ago.
Man, you learned to change a tire, fish.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to become a man at 29.
Man, I had that old school, man. I thought I was gonna be working on that, but I found out the engine was like a carburetor or something like that.
Wait, what?
Open that hood up.
Hold on, ain't they different? Ain't an engine and a carburetor two different things?
I don't know, bro. It was something, but it's like they said
the engine has a carburetor instead of electronic.
You gotta hit that gas when you start it up. The thing started up in a little minute when you turn it on. You know what I mean? But I was scared.
Your car got a carburetor. You that's old school.
And yeah,
so cars don't got carburetors no more?
Nah.
It's
all electronics.
Buick Regal. Rest in peace. Man, rest in peace.
What you working on, Ramsey? Like what you
I'm just trying to get an aftermarket alternator. I'm trying to install that into my car because I'm pretty sure mine died. I'm gonna use some car work. I think it was like pulling like 1.3 amps even in idle, even when the car was in just the ignition. So it was still drawn off the battery.
I know what you're talking about. Them RPMs, it'd be up like that. And that little thing, you turn it on.
No, the amps.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody ever come to fix or work on something and you just pretend like you know, like,
I promise you.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's all I do. That's how I be finding my mechanics on Facebook.
So let me tell you what you just do right here. And you can fix it. You got it on your own. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Sure.
Be out there for hours like this on YouTube.
Don't know what he just said. Don't know what bro just explained to you.
Or they're fixing it on their own, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's what you do, huh?" I see you using a 3/4 inch socket wrench. Oh, okay.
Ramsey, a real mechanic.
Yeah, I'm not built for
Got to be, man. I had to learn from the broke days. And I was like, okay, I could pay someone to do this now, but now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Until I reach the time where I can pay someone I know how, and I can afford to be like, even though I know how to do it, I'm still paying someone else to do.
No, straight up. That's
my time. I don't know if my time is that valuable yet.
No, it is.
Yeah.
worth the $600.
You only get so much of your time. You got 24. Throw that 24 up again, Jay. We all got that 24.
That's a good. That's a good.
Much.
What's it called? I ain't even realize that. See,
Segue.
Kobe is looking out. Kobe is looking out for us today.
That's right.
So yeah, y'all, we're gonna cut the foolishness because we've been doing the fool for about 45 minutes pre-show.
Oh, wait, we got to do Mike and Tech.
Oh, yeah. So y'all know, welcome back to our new segment of Mike and Tech. And as y'all can see, we got a new upgrade. Mike, go ahead. The floor is yours.
I got the bone crushers.
Do what? You got the what?
The bone crushers. I stopped by Walmart today. No, I got the
Walmart version of skull candy.
You got the bone crushers.
What they call skull crushers? What they call?
Bro,
skull candy.
Skull candy.
Hey man, you on Black Dad brain for real? That's what Black Dad. They don't never know the name. Hey, you know the
Pokemon.
For those that don't know out there in audio land, I'm on the East Coast, man. So I'm a little bit later than everybody else. It's like 2:30 here, 2:30 a.m. here. So no, I'm just joking.
We all looked at our clocks like, what?
That's what it feels like some days. Nah,
real headphones now though.
We get on this thing and going, it's fun.
Yeah, so now you got the mic. Mike got the mic. You got the headphones. Eventually, he'll get a ring light. I don't know. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We just thankful that his phone even can text at this point.
Hey, we slowly progressing.
We progressing. All right, but let's get it. Let's do a podcast. So, fellas, I was having a conversation with my wife. We were just talking about respecting time, specifically with like not wasting your opportunities and stuff like that. And when she said it, I said, "Oh, babe, you might have just gave us our next podcast." Like, because there's such a value in time, but I feel like that's the one asset we overlook the most. And so today, fellas, I just want to dive into like how to respect time. What does that look like? Are there things y'all do to value your time? You know what I'm saying? I just want to get into it. I just want to go there, help some people today.
The first thing that came to my mind was like, you know how people say time is money? I never used to understand that until I got older, and I realized like where you get to the point of being able to be like, man, I wish I could pay somebody to do this because this isn't worth my time. When you get to that point where you're like, man, if somebody else can, whatever it is, movers or mowing the lawn or whatever it is, if you feel like, man, I could be doing something more valuable with my time, like valuing it. That's the first time I understood that whole time is money type thing, because it was like, oh man, my time could actually, it's valuable to me. And I don't know. I feel like you don't get that when you're younger. Like as you get older, as I look at people who are older, they like value it so much more. I guess maybe because you have less of it. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's good. Mike, what about you? How you feel about respecting time?
So what kind of helps me is making a schedule, because like you said, you don't want too much of your time to be wasted. And you really, when you're having a family and working, you really don't have too much free time as well, So it's like, you only get so much of it. And then at the same time, I got to get that time for myself too. You know what I mean? That's how it helps me power through the day and get done what I need to get done. But when I think about terms of respecting, I think like I don't only have so much time. I don't know when it runs out, I really don't want to know at this moment either. But I only have so much. So it's like you don't want to waste too much of that time. You want to cherish around people you love, do the things you want to do. But how about you, Jay?
Yeah, so me, it's just anytime I think of time, I always think of maximizing it, right? Because, I've always heard, my dad used to always say, do things with a sense of urgency. He used to always say that. And I never understood what he meant. Like, do you mean like in a hurry? Do you mean like rushed? Like, what do you mean? I never understood it until I got older and I figured out what my purpose was. And I really valued like my wife and my son. And then it was like,
oh, okay. It was something that clicked in me to be like, oh, this is that sense of urgency. This is like, I legit I don't have time to waste doing whatever. Like, bro, I haven't watched, I've watched maybe 2 full NBA games this year. Like, and y'all know we used to get together and watch games all the time. But it's like, bro, I just don't got 2.5 hours to give to the TV. You know what I'm saying? For like something that ain't going, this ain't, bro, I can catch the 10-minute highlight reel on YouTube before bed.
The return on investment isn't.
That's ROI. It right there. There's no ROI on it. There's no, like, what this is only pleasurable if you consider that. This is, what is it? Gratification, like right in the moment. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? This is just making me feel good for now. But what about when it's over? And so when I think about respecting time, I always think about maximizing it, you know, but I feel like what we need to do real quick before we even dive deeper is like, let's break down the word respect, right? Because I feel like some words, we all have our own definition of them. And so I want to go holler at Webster real quick and see what Webster got to say about this joker. And he says, what respect means is to hold in esteem or honor, to show regard or consideration for. And so I guess the question is, like, how in your day-to-day do you show honor to time? Like, how do you honor the time you've been given? You know what I'm saying? Other than outside of just the, you know what I'm saying? I make a schedule, you know, I do this, I do that. Like let's go there. Like the real practical things. You know what I'm saying? Mindset, all of that. When did it click for you to even honor time?
Yeah. Go ahead, Rams.
I was just thinking, I was gonna let you go, but I was thinking of like seasons, right? I never wanted to be a person that like complained about the season that because that's the season, right? So I think of time, respecting the time is respecting the season that you're in. Because let's say, like, we know the person who's single, who's always complaining about being single. Oh, I can't wait to find my man. I can't wait to find my rib, whatever it is. And they can't respect the time that they're in now. Or the person who's married and always complaining about, man, I got to make that call. I got to check in. Oh, man, my wife is making me do this, do that. And they're not respecting the season that they're in. So not only do they make it, they're missing out on the season that they're in. They can't be fully present and respect that season. And I think of the mindset of like, I don't want to do that. I want to respect whatever season I'm in. So if I'm the leader, I want to respect the season of being the leader, man. Oh man, these people are looking up to me. I have influence. I'm not going to complain about, I got all these followers, all these people asking me questions. I don't want to do that. If I'm a subordinate, if I'm a follower, I was like, I got to respect the season. Like, man, I wish they would listen to me. I wish I was the boss right now. It's like, okay, I got something to learn right now. I got to respect the season. I got to put in the work right now and see what it's like to be that. So just whatever season I'm in, I just want to respect that because I don't want to miss out on the moment that I'm in. We were talking about Giannis the other day. He had a quote where he was talking about, they asked him about, man, what do you think about like putting up 40 the other night and that block and everything? And he was like, usually he's like, I don't know about you, but when I have a game and I'm thinking about how much I did last game, and I was like, oh man, I put up 25, 10 and 10, this and that. He's like, I'm going to suck the next game. Because that's my ego talking. If I talk about all my accomplishments from the past.
Yeah.
And if I talk about all the things that I'm going to accomplish in the future, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. He's like, that's my pride talking. So the key is not to think about my ego, all the things that I did in the past, or not to focus on my pride, all the stuff that I think that I'm going to do, but to just be fully present in the moment. That's humility. That's the essence of it. Like, this is what we're doing right now. And I'm going to give honor and respect to that. Respect this season, respect this time. And that mindset helps me so much.
But you almost, something like what you're almost saying, Rams, like you understand time, you know, and you're playing by like time's rules.
Oh, playing by time's rules.
Yeah, because hearing you saying that, like respect it and everything, I think for like my life, like you said, that season, like when I'm at work, I know I'm at work. You know, like my time is for the students to serve them and do what I need to be doing. I'm in that car ride home. That's a way for me to debrief. You know, that's my personal counseling time. So when I get to the door, I'm good. And when I get to that door, then my time's like my family's. Like you said, understanding that moment. But in understanding that moment, it's also like planning ahead. Because sometimes you be in moments you're not supposed to be in. And I've been in there before, you know, like man, I've been over here too long. I need to be home right now. It's an hour. Done went by, you know what I mean? I've been over here talking to this dude or doing this. I need to get home, or I need to be over here, or I need to be studying if I'm a student. So you also have to like be aware, have that awareness of like where you need to be as well.
That's good.
To be in the moment where you're supposed to be at.
Yeah, that's good. So I had we talk about him all the time. Coach Bailey had came in town on a recruiting trip, and the live period had just started. I think it was the first weekend of June, July. Y'all, you know how that goes. And so they were having a big tournament out here in Dallas, and Coach Bailey was coming in for a recruiting trip. He called me, told me to come through. I'm like, yeah, for sure. My high school was playing, so I was going to get to see my old high school coach and Coach Bailey's and my old teammate, like support my school, all that. So I'm like, of course, I'm there. So me and my wife go. We pull up to, Duncanville High School. If you're from Texas, you know about that high school. And like so many like moments. I've been there, played in big games there. You know what I'm saying? And I walk in and I just like, I get all giddy. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy, like, bro, it was like I was transported back in time. I felt all the emotions again. Seeing the college coaches lined up around the gym, like the crowd, you know what I'm saying? The moment, like I was just feeling it. And my wife and Coach Bailey first, he asked me, he said, do you miss it? I said, I usually don't, but right now I'm missing it. I'm missing this energy. I really miss it. And so, we go through the day, we enjoy it. It's a good time. Get in the car and my wife asked me, baby, did you like, how did it feel to be back in there? I was like, it really felt good, but it made me regret that I didn't embrace the moment I was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't present. I was so focused on impressing this coach and that coach and them and worried about where I'll be in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years that I wasn't present in the moment, bro. And I missed it. I missed it. So now here I am at 29 at this event, and I'm excited watching the kids, and I'm feeling the energy, and I'm just like, I didn't embrace it. And so that inspired me I think it was the next day or so, or sometime next week, I did a video and I was talking directly to the high school basketball players, because that live period is so stressful. And it's literally, you're not focused on now. This live period is solely focused on where you'll spend the next 4 years of your life. And so it can get cloudy to be present. But I was just like, man, y'all be present and enjoy this moment, because I promise you, you hear people tell you that all the time. Hey, you better enjoy where you're at now. Enjoy where you're at now. It go by fast until you're on the other side of it. And then you like, bruh, I was just 16, 17 playing in that. I'm 29 now watching, remembering. I'm borderline regretting that I didn't embrace the moment, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just not being able to be present in, like you said, Ramsey, respecting the season. I didn't respect the season, being so focused on that future,
Yeah, that's a real thing. I remember hearing that as a kid, man. Man, enjoy being a kid. You don't get to be a kid once.
Right.
But now it's crazy you said that. Sometimes I have like my battle. Sometimes I want to project and look a little further ahead as well. You want to it's good to take one of those eyes around the corner, but sometimes you take both of them, you start locking in, you lose sight of the present. And it's crazy you said that, because I was holding my son up, I was walking him to sleep. Sometimes that boy started a bad pattern here, man. I had to walk him to sleep, but we're getting big, so it's starting to hurt that back. But,
speaking of, there you go.
Yeah, there he is right there. You hear me, dad?
He said, leave me out of this.
Don't put me on your podcast.
But as I was holding, man, I was sitting there thinking about stuff in the future. Like, man, it's gonna be fun. Him and I hanging out, like doing things what we want to do and everything. And I was thinking, I said, I'm missing the moment right now. Like, he ain't gonna be a baby forever.
That's right.
I can go back and look at pictures right now when he was younger. I'm like, man, you see time right there in your face, and how like a couple months or looks like there's so much change that's been a couple of months, and it's hard like to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why it's so important to respect that time, you know, because if you don't, like you said, you'll miss it and you'll go back and try to think about memories. And like, I really don't have too many. I was so busy looking ahead.
Oh, that's good. You don't have too many. You know, me and my wife were just, bro, I promise you, we was just having that conversation of like, this thing is about making memories, because memories are all we have, essentially. Like, bro, that's the currency that we get to keep for the longest. Yeah. That's all we have, bro. We can get money again. We like, you know what I'm saying? We can get a whatever again, a new car, a new house. We can get those things, bro. We can't like the memories we make today. They're so precious, bro.
Your memories dictate your peace, man, in a way, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you create so many bad memories, or when it's hard to relax and lay down at night.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
And we have good memories. I feel like so easy to sleep, but that's another thing. But now what you're saying is true, man. Because I think about like times like you said about in basketball. Can you go back and like think about all the memories in high school when you was busy looking ahead?
Oh, absolutely. That's all I did.
See, man, I can't remember a lot of my games. I was so busy looking ahead on certain things. Like some of it's a blur. You know?
Oh, you saying, do I remember? Oh, the games?
Like some of the memories and things like that. Some of it, for me, I'm not gonna lie, it's like a blur.
Yeah, it's
and
a
it's
blur
like,
for sure.
I didn't cherish it when I was there. Like you just said, I didn't live in the moments when we was all out hanging out as a team. Sometimes I would fall back and like not embrace the moment. Like this is not gonna be forever. Man, you know, and I think sometimes when I was in those moments, I was thinking like, oh, this is whatever, you know, this is forever. And I just didn't embrace it, man. I missed out on a lot of great friendships, probably. You know, I think I had still great friendships, but I missed out on a lot of things that could have.
Yeah, that's the thing thing that pisses me off the most about the time that me and my wife were apart. Like I'm trying not to get emotional, because that like bro, I get so pissed at myself. Like, bro, you let 18 months pass. You wasted 18 months that you could have been making memories. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you can't get that time back. Like, bro, I can't, that 18 months is gone. I can't get that time back. So it's like, bro, every day I wake up, listen, babe, I promise you. That's why we start doing the day count. I promise you, we ain't gonna go by a day that I'm walking around this joker just mad all day. I promise you, it's just not gonna happen like that, because like, bro, we wasted 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years, bro. I can't get it back. So I gotta make sure today is gonna be the best day we can make it. Like tomorrow, when we get there, it's gonna be the best day we can make it. The day after, same thing, because we don't have that time to waste, just because we never know, bro. We never know.
How do you handle? Did you say it was like 5,000?
Go ahead,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rams.
You had a better one.
I was gonna say, how do you
21.
handle?
It's 21. It's like 21,900 and I think it's like 85 now.
Okay. Y'all gotta add some more days to that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You gotta
add some more years to that. We ain't letting y'all go
at
that
60
soon.
years, bro.
Nah, man.
60 more. Nah, man. We want you to be around 100.
I told y'all. 97, nigga. I'm out. Look, I promise one of you jokers try to keep me a day over 97. I'm pissed.
We're gonna put that on your tombstone.
So he said 97.
He said he was out.
Bro, my grandpa was like that. For real. He said, man, let me make it to like 90. I forgot what it was. 90, whatever it was, that's the age he made it to. And he was like, I'm out. He's like, if Jesus, he used to say this, if Jesus don't come back by 90, whatever, just take me home. He's like, my knees will start, my knees will be hurting. And that's, bro, he was healthy the year before. The next year, he said, peace.
Wow. Man. Incredible.
Yeah, he spoke it.
He spoke it. Hey, powerful. That's another pod for another time.
Right. But I was going to ask you, how do you handle those challenges? So, you know, like we have that mindset that today is going to be amazing and whatnot. How do you handle the challenges that come in a day that try to threaten that?
They're just moments. Like, right, they just moments, bro. This is just a moment. And sometimes that gets hard to see when sometimes some of those moments are prolonged. It gets a little bit harder. But at the end of the day, it's a moment, man. Shout out to Steve-O. Steve-O told me something the other day. He said, Jay, I look at everything, and where I am today, I won't be here in 6 months. whether that's for the better, whether that's for the worse. But where I am right now today, I will not be here in 6 months. And so, bro, that's just how we try and do it every day. It's like, bro, this is just a moment of whatever, but we can't let this moment dictate a day. It's a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we just had a little disagreement. So we finna let this disagreement ruin an entire day and take that into bed where we mad at each other, backs turned. You know how cold it can get when that back turn, right? Like when that back turn, it felt like the world in the end, bro.
You ain't sleeping. You ain't sleeping when that back turn.
When that back turn,
and if somebody is, it's a problem, boy. You mad?
I'm pissed. I'm talking about, I'll be the one pissed because my wife can sleep. She like sleep quick too. I'll be up, man. You know, but bro, it's like, bro, we just don't know when it's our time to go. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Maybe
I have that mind because I've lost homies young, but like, bro, we just don't have time to waste. We don't know.
Time, it's not ours. It's not ours. You know?
Yeah.
We can't control it. Like you said, and that's the most difficult part, man, is wanting to control, because I try to control a lot of things in my life that I can control. But that uncontrollable part, it's like you can't control that time part. That's true. You know, you look at your loved ones and you're like, it's crazy, man. It's very morbid to think this way, but it's like everybody's gonna die. We all die. But it's like, but if you really think about it, it's like, man, nah, we all really do die. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but
no. I want to
thinking of it on that end. It's like, I'm not here forever. You're not here forever. I don't know if you're going before me or I'm going before you. But while we're here, let's just love each other and try to make the best of it.
And I got a relatively deep question I want to ask both of y'all.
Yeah.
About time. And if not, I'll clip this joke out.
Yeah.
But I want to ask, because we have all experienced 3 different levels of things with our fathers. Mike, from Mr. Story Senior passing, to Ramsey, your father having that stroke, and then just me and my dad and the tension that we've had. Do those things make you look at the time you spend with your relatives and your loved ones different with those things that you've experienced with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, mine's being more just like on the relational thing, and y'all's too kind of like with health. Does it make you approach relationships different in the time you spend with people?
Oh yeah, it bumped quality time way up on my love language list, because it really wasn't that for me. For me, it was like, hey, give me a gift. If you went somewhere, you came back, you didn't give it to me, like, you don't love me. But like seeing that and knowing like you only have so much time. One thing, my dad always watched soccer. And I didn't like it as a kid because I was just like, man, they're just watching, like, I wanted to watch cartoons. We had one TV and he didn't want to watch soccer. I'd be like, man, can't see, Dexter's Laboratory or whatever it is. And so, but one time I remember I was a teenager, my dad would have me wake up or like set an alarm because the World Cup was in Korea at this time. And he would have me like, he's like, hey, wake me up at this time because this game is going to be on. So wake up and watch soccer. And now to this day, especially after the stroke, like what other people might just be like, man, that's just us sitting together and watching soccer. Like some people might even look at it as a waste of time. It's like, no, that's me and like my dad just having side-by-side time, even commenting on something like that was a good play, or man, he messed up over here, and just like watching him like be like, or smiling over something good it made that quality time much more important, because I know I don't always have that. So just a little thing like that didn't seem as important before is huge now. So yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. How you said earlier, when you find like your purpose and you have time and you have them working on the same page, communicate with each other, you become more focus your aim.
Here you go.
There we go again.
You did it. Yeah.
But
episode 8.
Yeah. Seeing my father as he was passing, it's crazy, like seeing time dwindling down, being in a position, witnessing that. You just know you're running out of it, and you're trying to like, thank God we had a great relationship, so I wasn't like racing trying to make up for lost time.
Oh, that's good.
But it was just trying to figure out like, man, this is time. That's the time was dwindling down. But then when that was over with, and I had to look at my own life and say, the clock is still ticking, you know? Everybody's time dwindling down. Little by we know it, you know what I mean?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, but mine's still ticking, and I'm planning for it to tick a whole lot longer. So what made me do is like, man, when I'm with my son or whatnot, I remember one time I was holding him, I said, man, like my father's going to miss majority of my life. That's my plan. You know what I mean? He's not going to be there to see majority of it, but he has such an impact that majority, the rest of my remaining years here, it's him, you know what I mean? He inspired me. Right. And looking at my son, I was like, man, I want to be here for the majority of your life, but I want you to live a long life as well. But I want to have that same impact on you. And how I do that is by spending that time with you. Like I remember my days taught me a lot of lessons, but I think more was caught than taught, you know, because I was constantly watching him and seeing the things he was doing. He wasn't even, I don't know if he was trying to teach me or not, but he was just always purposeful in his movements. You know what I mean? So it's like, I gathered a lot of things. I was like, okay, now the responsibility is on me. I do that same thing for you, son. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. My God. You know, my spirit's going to reign always through you. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be here with you, but man, hold on to my words, hold on to the things that I do, you know what I mean? Watching learn from my mistakes as well, you know? But it made me look at things like that, man. It made me hold my wife much differently too. Seeing my mom and dad as they were like saying goodbye to each other, man. It was,
my God.
Oof. It was a love story at the same time, but it was tough. And it's like, man, you know, I don't know how long I got you. I don't know, like you get in that car, leave to go do what you need to do. There's not no guarantee that you're going to be coming back home.
I'm coming back, bro. Yeah.
And the hard part is, man, it's like sometimes if I focus on that and I dwell on that, that creates just more anxiety.
Right.
So it's like, it's a balance, a tightrope. But like, no, let me love you while I'm here. So if something does happen, I can freely be like, you know what? I loved you. And you know, I loved you. And I gave you everything that I had to give. I heard Will Smith say something. Y'all, it was an interview. I forget who he was being interviewed by, but he said his father was passing. He thought he was going to die. And he lived in like a couple more years.
He did it with Jada.
Yeah.
He did the red table with Jada.
Yeah. And he was saying every time like he would say, because he don't know if that's going to be the last time.
Oh, man. Shoot.
But he just said he didn't know if it was going to be the last time or not, you know? And it's like, I always say that, man, to my wife. Like, every time we get off the phone, love you, love you, love you. You know, it's just kind of at the same time with my, you know, we say it with each other. I love you, bro, love you. Because you don't ever want that moment to slide by. And you don't ever want there to be no strife in between either. You know, you don't ever want that. I've witnessed that with somebody I love with another loved one. And I can see the peace that's not in their life today. You know, and it happened with two of their loved ones. You know, and it's like my heart aches for them because I know it's like there's some things, man, I feel like that pain-wise, it's hard to come back from, you know? You always can come back, but some things don't leave a stain.
Hello, and welcome to the Multi-Minute on the Lite Podcast. I am Reggie Harris, founder and CEO of Harris Multifaceted. So we're going to talk about time as if it is money. Okay, so number one, understand that time is just like money. It's a valuable resource. So are you investing it to get more out of it, to get more out of your time? Or are you wasting it on frivolous things, frivolous people? 3 ways here. I'm going to give you 3 practical ways to work with this and to make your time work for you. Okay. Number 1, will this time help myself or will it help somebody else or both? That's what you got to filter it through. Now, you have to find balance with it because you want to find that happy sweet spot where it helps you, the giver, and also helps the person or things or entities that you're giving your time to. Number 2, since you won't get it back, will you regret this or are you going to be able to create an experience or a moment out of this? That is very important when you talk about time. Is that time going to be meaningful where you're going to have a memory or experience out of it? And number 3, you can get control and handle the time by, first of all, handling yourself. You know, making sure you are right mentally, emotionally, physically, taking care of yourself, doing things to make sure you are healthy. And then control what you can control. Things that you cannot control, don't worry about it. So I just want you guys to understand here, please, there are small ways that you can redeem your time and make the most of it. So peace out, y'all. Love you.
Yeah. So, you know, thank y'all for y'all's vulnerability, fellas. I mean, that's not easy stuff to share. most bros don't share stuff like that, but I just felt like the spirit telling me to ask.
Light.
Man, we only shared. We forgot we was recording.
Right. No. But like being able to like be friends with y'all and walk with y'all both, like, and I want to say it was all simultaneous. It was all happening at the same time.
It was that same,
if not months within.
half.
Yeah, it was
period.
in that all that same time. It really made me take a deeper look at what I valued in my life. Like, because we've talked about it before, like my ambition had blinded me so crazy that I didn't value people. But like watching, like, praying with y'all, like seeing the burdens y'all had to carry, it really made me reassess my relationship with my dad, and so like it was like, bro, you got to start working through some of this stuff. You got to start telling them how you feel. You got to start, and I did. I started that process, bro. And it was hard, but it's still hard. It's not easy. Like, it's not easier.
It's never.
But you know what I'm saying? But I have no regrets, like, with our relationship. Yeah. And I can like straight up attribute that to y'all. And then, I got to, I had the pleasure of walking with my mom, in her cancer, battle.
Yeah.
And it was just, bruh, you talk about never being so scared in your life. Like, you watching, like you said, Mike, you watched your dad, like, time dwindle away. I was watching my mother dwindle away, and I didn't know, like, is today the day she gonna come and go in there doctor and not come back? Like, is today the day? Is
that phone
like,
call?
You don't know. I'm talking about her first day, bro, of chemo. When she came back out, bro, I'm talking about my mom is allergic to a lot of things, and she allergic, she breaking out. Like, bro, I ain't know what to do. I'm at the house with her. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Her doctor's 45 to an hour away. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Like, and it was a scary time, but it made me appreciate, you just value the time, bro. You honor the time. Cool. This joker's just not guaranteed, bro. And it's just not guaranteed. And I finally understood, to bring it back to ball, AI used to always say, I play like every game is my last. I used to always ask myself, how do you get to that mentality? And there's only one way to get to that mentality: life.
Mm-hmm.
Life has to happen.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That fight in that bowling alley almost ended it.
You see what I'm saying? So there's nothing you can do to click that on. You don't just be like, oh, I'm gonna play like every game is my last. No. There's literally some life-changing thing that happens to where you realize, oh, this thing is really a privilege.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
You never want to be taught by life. You know what I mean? But you want to learn from life. It's like,
that's good. That's good.
I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it's like, like talking about like valuing people. It's like, man, we've been hanging out every single day. I never valued you. Now you gone. And now I learned, like, man, I got to value the ones that's next to me. Yeah. You just don't want to take people for granted. You don't want to take your own self for granted. Your own personal time that you have. It's like you said, Jay, having to do the hard thing, address certain things, tell people how you feel and what you're feeling inside, what's going on. And I think that's the hardest thing for men, that vulnerability, to be open. I can't say for men, I have to say for myself, it's hard being vulnerable. Like, yo, this is what I'm feeling.
No, we can say for men.
It puts you into that emotional side. It's like, and my heart's open. Now you know how I'm feeling. And if I feel like you know how you're feeling, I feel like you got an upper hand on me, low key. I'm feeling like sometimes it's like, why am I thinking it's like somebody out to get me?
That's a whole nother podcast right there.
It's like, but to learn from like time and to like respect it, you have to like do the tough thing. That's the only thing that's going to grow you, is a tough thing. I never grow when something's easy.
Honor the season.
Yeah, honor the season.
Respect the season.
And just like you were saying earlier, I mean, if you hadn't have respected the season, Jay, and been like, I need to say this, I need to like start this process with my dad, you would have regretted. You wouldn't know that you wouldn't be at anybody's funeral and being like, "Whew, I'm glad I never talked to him that much," or "I'm glad I never said that thing that was burning in my heart." You know, I'm glad we never uncovered that wound and got that cleaned and cleared up. I'm sure glad that I'm holding on to this grudge. Like, no, people, you're not going to say, "I'm glad I spent more time at the job." Or, I'm glad nobody says.
No, I
that,
mean Steve Jobs, bro. Steve Jobs. He didn't respect the time. He, on his deathbed, he was like, "Yo, I got it wrong." It's just
how horrible of a feeling that is, man. How much of a scary feeling that is.
Come on, man.
It's man, I think back at certain like little moments I missed out on. You know what I mean? But to think like you missed out on your whole life and you lived at the highest level.
Wow.
What's the Braveheart quote?
I don't know.
Every man dies, but not every man truly lives.
Come on.
Every man dies, but not every man truly lives. That's
it.
So true, because in our minds, we look at Steve Jobs like, wow, look at who he influenced. We got these Macs and phones.
We're
got
using
books about
Steve
him.
Jobs right now.
Yeah. And so we lift him and put him on a pedestal. Right. We creating memories because of him. Yeah. But he's like, man, I wish I had done more for myself. I wish I had. I didn't get it right. I didn't have the right focus.
You just don't want to have that, man. Especially after like seeing people like on that bed like that. The last thing you want is like something burdening your heart. You want to go out and like be at peace. Right. You don't want to be sitting there crying, screaming, trying to hold on to every little bit of minute that you have. And that's the part that's scarier than anything, man. So it's like, you got to get it right. If anything, man, you owe it to yourself. You only have one life that I know of, you know what I mean? Somebody else knows something different.
I don't know. Somebody else may know something I don't know.
Yeah. Inform me, please.
Let me know so I can be prepared.
Yeah. But it's like, you just don't want that, man. Don't nobody want that for you either, Just get it right. Get it right.
I think that's good, though, that's the nature of life, because no matter what is on, we don't know fully, like even scriptures that like we know right now we see in part, we know in part, on the other side we'll know more fully. But that's good, I feel like, because if we knew, we might even take it for granted. Like if we knew what things were going to be like on the other side, we might be like, okay, cool. This might happen on the other side. This might happen. So let me waste the time over here. It's like, nah, man, I don't know. So let me live.
We do that now.
Yeah. Like, man, if I knew this, I would have done that.
Yeah, no, we do that now. Think about it, bro. When we know what the day is going to, tomorrow I gotta do this. Okay, this is, Ramsey, you talked about like prioritize, that prioritizing thing you were saying, like urgent, important. Like we do that now.
Yeah, that's true.
I can sleep a little bit longer. I'm good.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's true. That's true. When we know something or when we feel something is guaranteed, it's like, oh, that's always going to be there. We take it for granted. We're like, all right, now I'm not going to live this like it's my last. I know it's not.
Yeah. So I got a question. We talk about valuing the time, respecting the time, honoring the time, making the most of the time. But what about, the sense of urgency and patience, right?
Okay.
Two distinctly different things, but there's like this tightrope between them. Like, how do you keep the sense of urgency that has you maximize your time, but at the same time keep the patience aspect that has you value your time? Like how, like, you know what I'm saying? What do y'all do if there's anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, have y'all figured it out?
I think that goes back to that conversation we had before on an earlier podcast about motivation versus inspiration, right? So when I was talking about those quadrants, we were having that conversation about like, there are things that are, let's say the last quadrant is like things that are not important and they're not urgent. Like it's not really important for me to play a video game right now or urgent. That's like, and then there's things that are important, but they're not urgent. And there are things that are urgent and important. And there's things that are urgent, but not important. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So you guys are all tracking with that. We need to stay. I think the thing is to be inspired enough to stay in that thing, that quadrant of where things are important, but not urgent from the out. And it's not your motivator, but you have that internal, you're inspired
That's good, Rams.
to make it urgent. So it's like, okay, this isn't happening right now. It's like my wife and kids aren't passing away right now, but it's important that I have this internal inspiration. I'm inspired. Dad, your dad inspired you to be like, yo, I want to live a life like him and keep these people. So I have this internal inspiration to spend time with them because it's important. But it's not urgent. It's not bearing down on me. It's not this external motivation. Whereas the other stuff that we consider when my dad had a stroke, it was like, I got to go. I got to get on this plane right now. I got to go now. And that's like an external motivation because like, I don't know how much time I have left. And then like now that he's healthy, thank God, I've got an internal. It's like, okay, it's important. It's not like he's going away right now, but I'm making time. I'm calling him on the weekends. We talking about stuff. And when I fly down, we're spending time together.
So it's that controlling the time versus allowing the time to control you.
I don't even think you control the time. You control, because you can't control time. You can control yourself. That's what I would say.
Okay.
It's controlling yourself so that time doesn't control you. Time's going to happen.
Time happens. What? As they say,
time is happening.
Father Time is undefeated. Father Time
is undefeated. So like if your boxing analogy, bro, like Father Time is coming. Maximize these fights, get them in while you can. Make the important ones that need to be done so that you don't look back, or that even fans or people don't look back like, man, how come I never did that or didn't do that? Or so anyway, I've said enough about that.
No,
but I think
good, bro.
No, that's powerful. Yeah.
I like what you said. I think it's what you're kind of saying too, is like awareness. And that's where I'm kind of like, that helps me between my tightrope of urgency and patience. I have to be aware of like the situation, what's at hand, like in my life and my family's life right now.
Right.
Like kind of going through something with my family right now. It's like, okay, I have awareness. Okay, my son's this age, we plan on having more children. This is our window right here to take advantage of an opportunity. So we have an urgency in that, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And we move, but in that urgency though, we're not just racing, you know what I'm saying? We're being aware. And only how I kind of know the difference sometimes between being like patient and that urgency and when to pull on each one is awareness within. And I can always sense, like it's crazy. I could talk to somebody and then give me advice or whatnot. But the only one I really know is like, I have to look within. I have to look inside because I know what I'm feeling. Whoever I'm talking to don't know what I'm feeling. They only gonna know what I tell them. And you know what I'm saying? But when I know what's going on in here, what's moving on and transpiring in here and talking with my wife about it, and we're on the same page, clarity begins to happen. Okay, we need to move. Yeah. Okay, no, we need to slow down, Right. I think back, who was it? Moses? I'm trying to, it's been a little minute. Moses, he's taking the Israelites throughout the land. Yeah. There was probably moments and times where he had to move quickly, try to get across that Red Sea. Then there was times where they had to stop, they had to slow down.
Yeah, that's good.
But you have to understand that moment. You have to be aware. And being aware is like being in that moment.
Come on, past the story.
Yeah, silly, man.
Yeah. But no, man, that's true, man. Our self-awareness is key. That's what you're saying. Everything you're saying is facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
How about you, Jay? How do you balance it?
I mean, for me, it's just like you said, Ramsey, taking control of me. I heard the Mike Tyson quote, win the morning, win the day. And, sometimes you just hear something and it just click, got it. Okay, makes sense. Like when he said that, it just put me on this journey of controlling what I can control with my day. So that starts with how I start my day, what time I wake up, because I noticed my body feels different if I'm up at 8:30. Like I just feel different. I feel behind 9:30. Yeah. I feel extra behind. So I'm like, okay, what's a good starting place? And the starting place was 7 a.m. All right. I started at 7. But then it's like, dang, but okay, well, I got to get better. All right. So, 6:30. And then it's gotten all the way, for whatever odd reason, it's gotten to 4:30 in the morning now. But I'm more sharper than I've ever been. And I'm more patient than I've ever been. I used to have this thing about
time.
Yeah. Well, I used to have this thing about March. March teases me all the time. It was like, bro, it's so funny. Like when we first started, I couldn't get you to hold a song. now you got albums backed up on your hard drive. Like, because I've become so patient over the time. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going to start a petition, change.org.
Bro, come on. But it's like, it's just taking control of my time. Like, I'm in control of my time. When I wake up early, it's like I'm in control. Nothing is pushing me. Like you said, there's nothing externally pushing me to be up. Oh shoot, it's 7:30. I gotta get to whatever. No, it's like I'm up and I'm ahead. Like I'm ahead of the birds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's the thing that did it for me, bro. Was just like taking control. You know what I'm saying? Taking control, taking ownership of my own myself and my time. So
that's crazy, because you can't, just the way that is so much that's all you guys are all talking about, like self-control, right? Because if we could control time, was that like that movie with the Justin Timberlake movie where you could like
still trying to figure out a way to make it happen.
right because that's what people would do. Like billionaires would try to buy up, let me buy some of your time, right? But we can't. Like, I can't say, we say save time, but I can't trap time in a bottle and be like, okay, let me use this 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. just put it in a bottle and I'll pop it back out at 5 p.m. You can't do that. So it literally is like the stuff you said, you gotta like do this to yourself, because it's like this it's like a resource is what I'm saying. It's there. You gotta like get up and grab hold. Yes,
gotta tap into it.
It's a limited resource that you gotta tap into.
Yeah.
And we all have it. Like, you can like, but you can't save it. It's just there, and you gotta.
It's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone.
That joke is going. It's going. It's going whether you know it or not.
Not.
Yeah.
It expires. It's got an expiration. It's going bad.
I promise you.
Yeah. 2 seconds ago, it's history now.
Dang, man. What did I do at that time?
Hey,
yeah, that's huge.
But what's the song, man? If you got 24 hours to live, where would you go? You know what I'm talking about? What would you do?
4 minutes. Is it that one?
Nah, it's about the.
That ain't the one. My bad.
What was it?
That ain't the one.
I think it was the one with locks in it. Mace, you know what I'm talking? If you got 24 hours to live, where would you go? What would you do? You know, I'm not gonna say all the rest, but it's like
the Avant song.
Keep going back to it.
Yeah. You talking about Avant, right?
4 minutes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
But now when you look at that way, it's like, man, what would you be doing? And that kind of helps you realize your purpose too. If it's like, man, I'll be spending around my family. What? Probably need to do that right now. You know what I'm saying? If it's like, man, I'll be giving back, or bro, you probably be doing that now. Focus on that more, you know?
And you know why this conversation is important? Because we are, we really fully coming up out of the pandemic, and people, it made us all take a second look at, what do we value? What is it? Our families? Is it like, what is it? And now we're coming out of it. Stuff is open. People taking trips, people doing this work, like whatever. This is a great conversation to have, to do the whole, hey, let's not forget that a year ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was all
pandemic principles, man.
Oh, that's it, Mike. Don't lose those pandemic principles, man. I promise you. That's good right there.
We was all being all extra cautious, man. And like, by the time we had a baby in the house, well, he's still a baby, but you know what I mean? A newborn in the home. Mm-hmm. And we was being extra cautious, everything, hold on to each other tight. It's like, we love each other. You didn't know. We didn't know what the corona looked like.
My marriage got restored in that joke.
Man. That's a blessing, man. It made things real. It was like, they said, man, I'm missing my rib.
No, I promise you, my dad asked me a question. He said, Jay, if it all hits the fan, what would you do first? And then, like, without even thinking, I was like, I'm going to go get Beth and Cash. And that was the first time I was like, oh, shoot.
That's what I need to be doing now.
Exactly, bro. I was like, it's going to take for the world to explode for me to do that? Nah, bro. Come on, get yourself right.
It's crazy.
Bro. It's crazy. Yeah.
You know what's different for me? I felt like during the pandemic, the thing that I guess you say regret that I had to realize is that I started doing the whole doing the ego, thinking about, man, it used to be like this. I used to do this, and like focused on the kind of escaped mentally to not deal with the present. And I escaped into how things used to be, my memory. And like, so that's something that I need to get. I wasn't worried about like the future or what. I was like focused on how, oh man, used to do this, used to do that, and like kind of use that as an escape mechanism. But I found myself being like literally like daydreaming, sitting around like, man, where did the day go? And I was like, no, I need to like take control of the moment and use this. Like, so that's what that's one area that as you guys are talking about the pandemic, I'm realizing like, man, I realized that. And it's definitely something that I needed to like get a moment of clarity to be like, ooh, whoa, I'm stuck in the past right now. I need to get out of this.
Getting married and having a child, that kind of did a whole lot for me as well. It like shifted my whole mindset. 'Cause I don't think I was there understanding that at the time when I was single. So like, I'm interested to see as you continue on this journey, like what that's going to look like. Because I didn't figure that out, I don't think. Like understand like how precious time was.
You was late everywhere. Yeah, but Ramsey, y'all two jokers, y'all gonna be late. If nothing else, y'all gonna be late.
My roots, bro.
You know why you can't be mad at y'all two when you show up late, Ramsey? Because you show up with like the biggest smile on your face, with just great energy. It's like, how can you, like, bro, just come on in, like, and then Mike just show up with
I was enjoying the moment.
And it's a paper plates. Some potato salad.
For sure.
Hey, I came to the wedding one day early.
Oh yeah.
I was I couldn't get. I'm okay with you being mad at me. I can't have you and Beth upset.
Man, I got stuck. I got caught out here trying to turn a pandemic to a bandemic. Got caught.
Hello.
I got hit.
The PPP loans.
Bro, I promise you. Hey, hold on, real quick.
I was trying to get one too.
We gonna.
They put your name in that paper. I said no,
bro. I promise you. Hey, listen. Just real quick, and we go get up out of here. So one of the homies just posted on the gram earlier today. He was like, I don't see. He said, I don't see them 1942 bottles like this summer, like I did last summer. I said, the PPP loans ain't hitting no more. That employment.
Yeah, now the stimulus was being dried out then, man.
I promise you.
Stimulus was starting to slow up.
I ain't seen a damn bottle of 1942 on y'all stories this summer.
Man,
hey, all the people with multiple kids, you might see them start popping back up again now that those checks are coming out.
The Space Jam sold out quick. The kid sizes.
I'm talking about what the
300, nice.
Nah, for real, bro. But hey, homies, we appreciate y'all for listening again. Hopefully, y'all got something y'all can take about time. Y'all continue to pray for Mike and his technological advancements.
Man, God is opening things up to me. Things are becoming much more clear.
Pray for his family because they about to go without Wi-Fi. We ain't gonna just use the podcast. It's gonna just be me and Ramsey on this joker. Here pretty soon once Mike cut the Wi-Fi.
Mike calling over the phone.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Give me the code to tap in. Like I'm calling from jail.
He gonna call in.
On the house phone, on the landline.
We ain't even gonna be able to connect it. We gonna have to call AT&T. How you use what you plug this in to get the Ethernet cord?
Hit me on my beeper. I know when to call in. I'm gonna bring that back, bro. I'm getting a beeper, bro.
Man, you can't even buy them though. You gotta go to the thrift store like electronic.
Nah, bro. They got them at some of them corner stores up here.
Yeah,
the ones with never mind. I ain't gonna say that. No mind.
Beeper code. Text you 911.
Nah, that's some free phones. That's some Obama phones.
Text you 304.
Giving them out. I'm about to go get one though, man.
You heard Obama phone?
Yeah, y'all see them phones? If we get out them tips, we giving them free ones.
They be giving out what?
You never seen
free
them?
Phones.
In Texas? They be giving them free phones. They be out there signing some you up and get that free phone and
I can get
track phones. You know, they tap into everything you're saying though.
You said that
Obama
phone?
That's what we call them, Obama phones.
We call them because they're government phones. You like get a free phone from the government. Like, I remember they had really taken Yeah, you get a free government phone.
Yeah, they got them tents. You see a little line.
Oh, that's what them tents is for.
Yeah, free phones. They listen to all your conversations too, probably.
Man, that's why all the big homies start getting locked up. That's on the Obama phone.
People telling everything on them phones, boy.
Hey, bro, I'll never forget. I knew when they were really real. When my friend, a homeless dude was like, somebody came out and he was like, hey, he's like, you got $1 exchange to spare or whatever? And he was like, oh no, man, I don't got any cash. He's like, well, you can send it Cash App, Venmo. He's like, you got a phone? He's like, but you got a phone though. And he was like, I said homeless, not phoneless.
We got to end on that right there, bro.
I got a phone. I need a house.
I said,
I want that $5 do.
He got minutes and Wi-Fi.
I promise you, bro. Oh my God.
He got a plan.
We gotta get up out of here. We could do this all night, y'all, but y'all make me edit 2.5-hour podcast.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man,
but
it's dark here. That's how I know.
Speaking of time, it's past my bedtime, man.
Right. But, hey, homies, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and we will see y'all next week.
So we meet again.
Peace.